Today, I'm back with another physical media ranking video for you all. Today, I'm going to rank 10 of my favorite Disney slash Pixar titles. This can be animation, this can be live action. Now, this isn't my definitive 10 favorite. These are just 10 of my favorites, and I've ranked them in order here. So I'm going to start from the worst, which is still really good, all the way up to my favorite out of this pile. So starting here at the bottom, we got to have Under the Sea. Under the Sea, we got The Little Mermaid. Yes, all-time classic movie. I really like the slipcover on this one. The music is fantastic. It's a great story. It's not too long of a movie. Ursula is awesome in it. Very terrifying sequences. And just great characters all around. I mean, you can't go wrong with Flounder and Sebastian. It's just a great time. Awesome movie. And it really kind of saved Disney Studio for the time, which I thought was really fun fact to learn about myself. All right, next up, we got a Pixar title here, and we're going to go to the boutique labels for this one, and we got Wally on Criterion. I really like this movie. It basically plays in two parts. The first half is more of a silent film where you just got Wally living his everyday life, picking up the garbage, and it's just kind of cool to see him collect different items. That's really fun, and watch like old classic movies and whatnot. But then he meets Eve, and then that's just so cute and romantic between the robots. And then the second half, you get more action, sci-fi going up into the spaceship. You see what the world people have become, and you're like, oh my goodness, we don't want to turn out that way with all the laziness and just so ingrained into the technology. So really great themes and messages here. Fun characters once again. And I love the Criterion treatment of this. The 4K is gorgeous, and I just really liked all the special features. Beautiful copy. So yeah, highly recommend the Criterion version of Wally. All right, next up, another Pixar title. We had to go with Toy Story. Yes, the first one out of that franchise. I really like this movie from when I was a kid. All the toy characters are fantastic. I mean, you got that rivalry between Woody and Buzz Lightyear, which is really fun. Awesome voice acting there. And yeah, just a great story. I mean, we all have that connection to different toys as collectors and just living those memories. So, really good introduction to all these characters for me, and just kind of like a fun adventure Toy Story as it will be. But yeah, awesome movie, great. Always can go back and rewatch that one. And then next up, another good one from the childhood is gonna be Lion King. Of course, you gotta have the Lion King. Amazing music, once again, really fun characters as well. With Rafiki and of course Timon and Pumbaa. You got Mufasa, played by James Earl Jones, correct? I think the voice. And yeah, of course, you got Simba and all that great stuff. Just tons of great characters. The hyenas as well, and Scar. Just really awesome. It's a Hamlet story, right? Very Shakespearean. Where the kid runs away, right, because something happens to his father. The brother takes over the kingdom, and then he has to return and set things correctly. So really fun, but you got all the awesome classic Disney music in there, really creative sequences. Not too long of a movie either. So yeah, gotta have the Lion King on the list. All right, next up is going to be a Pixar title, and we gotta have Incredibles 2. Yeah, I know, not the best still book with the washing machine. I get it. That's a little odd. But yeah, I really like the Incredibles franchise. The Incredibles 2 came out a decade after the first one. We didn't know if it was going to be as good as the first one, but I thought it was just as good. It continued the story perfectly. I like seeing all the family characters and now how they're living their daily lives, and like role reversals with mom, the elastic girl going out to have to do the superhero work, and then the dad's at home helping them with the homework and things like that. That's always kind of fun, like a Mr. Mom type of story. But yeah, I mean, it's a great cast of characters. It's a family superhero story. It's like a Fantastic Four movie, but better than any Fantastic Four movie out there. This one does it right. The animation's gorgeous. All the villain characters are cool. And all the power sets. The power sets are awesome, especially seeing Jack Jack just unleashed in this movie. Awesome. Really, really cool. Great costume designs. I mean, just everything really phenomenal. Voice acting talent. I mean, you can't go wrong with it, right? All right, up next, another Pixar movie, another good one from the childhood, is going to be Finding Nemo. Such a great story of kind of, you got an overprotective father because of what happens to the mom at the beginning. But then, he has to conquer the ocean and get out of his comfort zone to go save his son. And he meets so many friends along the way. He meets some enemies. Enemies turn friends like the sharks. And it's just a great time. And yeah, I really like this one. Great cast of characters as well. But yeah, very fun adventure story in the ocean and all that great stuff. So yeah, gotta have some Finding Nemo on there. All right, next up, going back to a franchise we just talked about not too long ago, and I had to pull another one from that franchise. Toy Story 3, to me, is my favorite Toy Story movie. Still, I really like this one. I just think the characters are great, right? You get the bear in here as a like terrifying villain, but he's like still cuddly too. It's really funny. But yeah, I think this movie ends the trilogy perfectly with just a send off for the kid, and donating his toys away, not toes, that would be weird. Toys away, and passing it along to another kid so they can really enjoy those and have those memories and grow up with them and all that great stuff. I love that ending. It's so emotional, so powerful. And but at first you're like, oh, these toys going to be incinerated in the fire. So I like how they play that up. That was really cool as well. Very thrilling. And yeah, so this was just a good time. I think it hits everything perfectly. And I always love when a movie ends a trilogy really well. And I will say, yeah, Toy Story 4, right? You get that sequel after that. I still like that movie, still a thumbs up for me. But I think Toy Story 3 is still my favorite here. Just really good end to a trilogy. All right, next up, going with a live action title. Once again, I guess this is my only live action Disney title in here, but I love this one from my childhood. Had to mention it. It was so terrifying as a kid, too. So definitely perfect for spooky season. And that's going to be Hocus Pocus. Yes, you got the Sanderson sisters. And I just thought this movie was awesome as a kid. I watched it a whole bunch of times, but once again, there were some moments I had to, turn away because it got a little creepy and scary. It's like gateway horror with all the witches and all that. But it was fun. It's a fun movie, very entertaining. I loved it. I loved it. So let down by the sequel. Wasn't a fan of the sequel. But yeah, the first one is just so good. Very classic. Really like this. All the powers are really cool, and the dancing and the singing sequences make sense in this movie. So yeah, really like it. And yeah, they still kept it very spooky and terrifying at the same time, even with all of that. All right, next up, my favorite Pixar title. I love this one, and it's a more recent one actually, though. But it's Coco. Yes, I love Coco. Really emotional movie. Great themes about family and remembering people that have passed away and all of that. And the great music in here. I mean, the soundtrack here is fantastic. Un poco loco. And I know my singing voice isn't there, but a lot of great songs in this movie. So wildly entertaining. Really like this one. The visuals, the animation, how they celebrate culture. The spirit animals are so cool looking. Celebrating Day of the Dead and all, the dead looking characters in the dead realm, I guess you could call it. It just looks so cool. But once again, you get the emotions in there, you get the themes, you get the messages, and of course, all the amazing visuals. So I love Coco. Excellent movie. Now to get into my number one favorite Disney title out of this whole pile right here. And this movie is perfect for multiple holidays, for Christmas, for Halloween, you name it. Just a great year-round watch, in my opinion. And you know what I'm already talking about. That's going to be The Nightmare Before Christmas. Really like this Steelbook too, right, with the embossed Jack Skeleton image right there. Very cool. But really awesome movie. I like the story and themes and messages here. You got Jack Skeleton. He's just so relatable. He's just tired of doing the same thing day after day. He's bored with it. He wants to live out some passions and dreams and discover new things. And I love that. Totally relatable. But all the characters are great in this movie. You got amazing villains with Oogity Boogity and, of course, the Boogity Kids. Very terrifying. You got Santa Claus in there. You got Sally. It's just great. I mean, Zero is fantastic in the movie. And then the singing voice of Danny Elfman here. Oh, so good. Just perfect. Perfect. I love how this movie's put together. The stop motion animation is gorgeous in this movie. So, no complaints at all in this movie. I think everything works perfectly. Really enjoy this one. So, I have to highly recommend this one. And let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite Disney titles of all time? Can you rank a top 10 in the comments there? Or just what are a handful of your favorites? What do you think of my choices? Did any of them stand out to you? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. And if you love collecting physical media just like me, Make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can keep you entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And if you enjoy these physical media topics, check out another one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.